Lady Z, the Nissan 370Z. Do I even have to introduce this car? Honestly, no. It's that well known. I could most likely go the entire video here without mentioning the name and you wouldn't feel lost. Matter of fact, if I hadn't said anything about it, you most likely wouldn't have even realized I never said the name. But I'll say it anyway for those who may be new or trying to learn. This is the Nissan 370Z, a JDM legend amongst its peers. It has been around since 2009 and is still being manufactured today. As for a new car though, the 2009 model looks identical to the 2020 model. The only difference is going to be newer, shinier, glossier paint. But if you were looking into getting one of these JDM legends for yourself, your best bet would be to find a used one with the lowest amount of mileage possible and start your build there. And for any unfamiliar with this beast, you may not recognize it yet, but once we put a couple of modifications on, you may remember it fondly, as it has made many appearances in car action films, one of the most notable being the Fast and Furious saga. I always like to start with an exhaust setup. Adding that deep grumble and airflow to your engine is going to give your Z the sports car, fast car sound to perfectly accompany the car's speedy and stylish ways. But choosing the right setup for your Z could be tricky, as this car has been around for nearly a decade, and it stands as an icon amongst the car community. We've got a classic love-hate situation. We love that the Z has a huge aftermarket support base, meaning there is so many parts available for this car, you can have it looking, sounding, driving as a new car altogether. But we hate that there is so many parts available that it's hard to know what is good and what is not without risking the money ourselves on the parts, or doing the necessary research to see what others who have tested them have to say. Luckily, for those of you watching, I've already done some research and have listed some of your best options when choosing the parts for your 370Z. Best exhaust systems. Number 1. Manzo Dual Cat Back Exhaust System, $500 on Enjuku and $578 on FRSport. Number 2. NVIDIA Gemini Cat Black Exhaust System, $1,026 on Amazon, $1,060 on NVIDIA. Number 3. Amuse R1 Titan Catback Exhaust System, $4,225 on ConceptZ, $2,965 on Bulletproof Automotive. Alright, what next? Now that you've got your Z sounding nice and slightly increase that airflow, you're going to want to increase that airflow. Again, yep, now you need yourself a solid air intake. Just like with exhaust options, there's going to be quite a few choices you could make for this. I do recommend you do your own research on everything anyway. That way you could get the info you need and the parts you need. Everyone's build is different. That's why we love cars. So much for that secondary airflow increase. We're looking for a solid cold air intake system. You could opt for a true cold air intake where the filter goes down below the engine, but I believe an SRI or short ram intake system would work just fine. Best air intakes. Number 1. Takeda short ram intake system, $414 on Enjuku, $379 on afepower. Number 2. AEM cold air intake kit, $400 on Z1 Motorsports, $400 on vividracing. By this point, you are probably driving around with smiles on your face, enjoying the sound of a real sports car and the minor performance increases you've made. I certainly would be, and in a car so small and lightweight, these changes are even more noticeable. But speaking of lightweight and nimble, do you know how you could make this car even better in both handling and looks? Haha, I know those two right there just gave it away, but I'm talking about the suspension. Immediately, I'm going to say avoid lowering springs. I was reading the Z forum and looking around at what some people were saying regarding suspension upgrades, and surprisingly, they say lowering springs on the Zs are actually pretty good, but only if you accompany them with other upgraded suspension components, such as upgraded control arms and end links, upgraded sway bars, and the factory shocks were not designed for upgraded springs, so they will wear out more quickly and ultimately need to be replaced as is. So what I am trying to say is to upgrade your suspension for the Z, you want to avoid lowering springs and just go straight to coilovers or airbag/air suspension if you have the funds to do so and are knowledgeable of them. Trying to go the cheaper route first, you're going to end up buying coilovers anyway or spending as much as coilovers to maintain the changes with the springs. So just get yourself a solid pair of coils. Best coilover systems. Number 1, KW Variant 3, version 3, coilovers. $2,209 on ConceptZ, $2,169 on Z1 Motorsports. Number 2, BC Racing BR coilovers. $1,031 on Z1 Motorsports, $995 on ConceptZ. Now, if you're riding with increased airflow/power and upgraded handling, that's a nice ride. For those who want aesthetic changes/mods, you're in for a treat when browsing that market. The Z has plenty of parts to satisfy anyone's desired look for their Z, from wheels to wide-body kits, LEDs, and more. And for those speed junkies, oh no, you're not alone. We wanted the Z faster, stronger, so we made it faster and stronger. There isn't too many options for the turbocharging/supercharging the Z, but there's options. Enough said, time to make that Z fly. Turbocharge/supercharge. Number 1, AAM Competition Turbo Kit. $9,295 on AAM, $9,295 on ConceptZ. Number 2, Stillen Supercharger Kit. $6,895 on Z1 Motorsports, $7,468 on Stillen. With all that said and done, oh wow, Lady Z, a beautiful beast. This is what you've got now. You can't stop looking. Folks you pass can't stop looking. They somehow know what they're looking at, but have never seen your Z before. It creates wonder. But before you hit the gas and the wondering is over, the Nissan 370Z stands a true testament to its title, a legend. Any car you have questions about regarding if it's a performance vehicle, what its tuning potential could be, etc., go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because any car worth the enthusiast's time will have a video about it here, so don't miss out. Hope everyone enjoyed this one, and if you did, please leave a like so our other car brothers and sisters can be informed like you were. I'll catch y'all in the next video, but you won't catch me.